Thank you, Madam Speaker. Today I rise as the proud author of House Resolution 37 to recognize May 14 as Apraxia Awareness Day in the state of California. Some of you may not know what apraxia is, and I'll admit I didn't either until it hit close to home. Apraxia is a neurological disorder caused by abnormalities or damage to the brain. It affects a person's ability to plan and execute purposeful movements, simple things many of us take for granted. Tasks like tying shoelaces, buttoning a shirt, or picking up a pencil can become daily challenges. There are different types of apraxia, but today I want to focus on childhood apraxia of speech, a rare motor speech disorder that makes it difficult for children to speak clearly and consistently. Unlike a typical speech delay, children with apraxia know what they want to say, but their brain has trouble coordinating the muscle movements needed to say those words. These children require intensive, frequent, and highly individualized therapy. They may also need occupational and physical therapy, early intervention programs, and ongoing support at home and in school. And for me, this issue is not just about policy. It's deeply personal. My beautiful 70-year-old niece, Areli Soria, who is here with me today, was diagnosed with childhood apraxia at just 2 years old. Areli lives with her parents, my sister Perla, and brother-in-law Ezequiel in Lindsay, a small rural community in Tulare County. Like many rural communities, Lindsay families face serious barriers to accessing services. There is a shortage of speech therapists in the Central Valley. In fact, my sister and her husband have spent years driving over an hour each way to Fresno just to make sure Areli could receive the care she needs to thrive, until finally they were able to secure services 3 minutes closer to home. As I say this, I reflect on the fact that there are probably other Arelis that don't have the families with the ability to do anything extra due to the hardships of traveling far for additional services or lack of insurance, and thus go without getting the therapies they desperately need. Through incredible sacrifice, my sister and her brother-in-law have paid out of pocket for private speech therapy, services that are not fully covered by insurance. And thanks to funding from the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, Areli receives speech therapy at school 3 times a week. This has made an enormous difference in her progress, but it also wasn't easy to make sure the school district followed her IEP. One would think they would follow it. I applaud my sister's effort and her fight to not just make sure Areli got what she deserved, but also other kids didn't have the same struggles. And now, as you guys all know, federal funding is under threat. And if the Trump administration has its way, it's children like Areli living in rural towns, born into working class families, facing steep odds, who will pay the price. We cannot let that happen. Let me be clear. This funding is not optional. These services are not luxuries. For Areli and for thousands of children across California, they are lifelines. Today, I stand not just as an Assemblywoman, but as a tia, an auntie, as an advocate for children like Areli and for families who are doing everything they can with the limited resources. Areli's here with me today. She is brave. She is joyful, and she is finding her voice one word at a time. I also want to uplift today the nonprofits and organizations that provide hope, education, and community like Apraxia Kids. Their advocacy has brought families together, spread awareness, and push for policy change at every level. As we celebrate this Awareness Day, I urge my colleagues to remember this. When we cut services for children with developmental disorders, we are cutting off their potential. When we invest in them, we are investing in the future of California. We must continue to fight for state and federal investments in special education and therapy services, especially in rural communities. We must recognize that access to care is not equal, and rural families deserve the same support as everyone else. Today, I ask that we stand with the children who are fighting to speak. stand with the parents who never give up and stand with Areli. I respectfully ask for your aye vote on HR 37. And please, Madam Speaker, if we can open the first roll call for co-authors. Thank you.
Thank you, Assembly Member. The clerk will open the roll for co-authors. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. Members, this is for co-authors. All members vote who desire to vote. The clerk will close the roll. There are 72 co-authors added. Without objection, we will now take a voice vote on the resolution. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, say no. The ayes have it. The resolution is adopted. Assembly Member Soria, you are recognized for your guest introductions.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I want to take a personal moment of privilege to introduce my niece, Areli Soria Bedoya, who is here with me, along with my sister, Perla, and her husband, Ezequiel. We have also Mateo, Lucas, Simon, and Anaí. They've traveled here all the way from Tulare County, my home county, and I just want to welcome them to Sacramento, to the state capitol, and just want to wish Areli the best as she continues to discover her voice one word at a time. Welcome to Sacramento.